Hey yo, say hello to the bad guy. And I'm smartening you up. You want to check out Title Match Wrestling. All the cool cats are. I suggested Triple H with Shawn Michaels in his corner versus Roman Reigns with Rock in his corner and special guest Daniel Bryan. I'm allowed to have opinions, brother. Hey, I'm back in the fold, man. I've been back for 2 years now. So, you know, I respectfully make suggestions. I'll go on record as saying this. Just about every time, remember last year when everybody thought, man, like, what the hell, you know, how sweet was the show last year? Just when you think, oh man, these WWE creative guys are so lame, they don't know what they're doing. Then they go, oh yeah, by the way, bang, WrestleMania moment for you. Right? Happened last year. I predict Shane and Taker are gonna rock it. Because Shane will do anything. And bro, did you see how good a shape he debuted like 2 weeks ago? And you see him last Monday on Raw? And even his shirt went up a little bit, he's got like abs, like whoa. You know, I guess he's not being tested. No, but I mean, he's young, he's working out hard, he looks great, and he is crazy. He'll do anything. So, it's gonna be great. I wish that match would go on last. I've heard maybe it's not. I wish it would go on last because, man, how do you follow that? That's control of the company. I think you should end with that. Either way, the people aren't gonna be happy. Somebody's gonna bitch either way, right? Nobody wants to see Taker retire, except maybe Taker, you know? But they have to coax him to come back. But I don't know. I think it's exciting. I'm so happy Shane came back, and I guess so was the rest of the world. Where was it, Detroit? Man, what a pop, right? Even he was moved by it, you know? So, I don't know. If I was still actively on the roster and I wasn't the guy who left, I would certainly speak up more. But now I'm just so happy to be back in the fold, bro. I got a DVD coming out in July. Like, you kidding me? I'm happy to be back.
And what kind of input did you have on the DVD as far as like match selection?
I tell you what, they came to me and the guys said, hey, here's the matches, man. Do you want to prove anything? He told me that Brett came to Connecticut and sat in the office and watched the matches and picked them. I said, you know what? I know what you guys do. I've seen the quality of WWE quality of DVDs. I said, you know what? You do whatever you want, man. It's like him trying to tell me how to have a match. Like, I'm not going to make suggestions to this dude who does this for a living. I said, bro, I'm completely cool. You take care of it, whatever. They'll even ask me to do a couple things I wasn't too comfortable with, and I did that. Because I said, I know you guys are going to take care of me. You're not going to put this out and bury me. So I'm cool with it. Plus, just get the address right for the royalty checks. Brother.
Your son's doing big things in the Bullet Club right now?
Yeah, I'm really proud of Cody. He's doing his own thing. The shoot situation, like, I guess for some fans, they're looking at it and going, wow, Cody's in the top storyline with the top guys. Yes, he is. Now, the reality of it, now that he's been in the business a little bit longer, now I can talk wrestling to him. And he can talk it to me. And he's like, Dad, the downside of working with those top guys when you're young and green and big and strong like him is, they don't want to do anything with you. They don't want to take any bumps. They don't want to, you know, it's like, whoa, because they're scared because then they should be. Because he's nervous and he's like a big, you know, big strong kid. And he always does the job. But see, the good part about that is you're in there with the top guys and they always do a little boom, finish. So he's learning the timing. He's like, Dad, sometimes I just wish I was on the indie scene in Georgia with you. I said, what, in front of 50 people? Yeah, you get to do whatever you want. Nobody's there. And he's in front of sold out arenas. And God bless the Young Bucks. I'm looking forward to seeing those cats at WrestleCon. They have been taking care of Cody and hooking him up, and they bring him to the ring. They said, I DM with him, and he said, he's like our Diesel. Like, those cats consider themselves the Rockers, but they're both Shawn. They're so cocky, they're so great. They know how to entertain and get over, and they show my kid love, so I got nothing but love for them.
Now that you brought them up, I know some veterans have been somewhat critical of
Who, Cornette?
Yeah, I know.
He probably buries me too. But you know what, Cornette, you're not always right. You have to realize that the business has changed. You either adapt or you get left behind. a lot of these guys didn't come up in territories now. We all, Cornette, guys like me, all that, we had the advantage of coming up in territories with a TV-driven story where your role on the card was you're on second. You don't dive out of the second row because guess what? They're doing that in the main event. They'll do it once a night. It was a whole different deal. How many guys don't super kick? You can name the guys who don't. Back then, back in the day with Shawn, nobody else did it. That was it. But now, these guys are competing on this independent scene to get over. So they go like, screw you, man, I'm doing my shit. I mean, the whole thing, I tease Cody, get your shit in, man. I tell Cody, no, slow down, guess what? He works top wrist, take the guy over in a top wrist takeover. Nobody has seen that in forever, that guys who know, guys who are in power in our business will go, damn. I mean, they've seen boom, 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 drop down, jump around. And Cody went through that like all big guys do. I went through it. I remember Kev went through it. Kev wanted to leapfrog me and hit me with a flying shoulder tackle. When I worked with him in Chicago, with Shawn on the outside and I had Walter Payton on the outside. Kev wanted to do it, and I said, let me get this right. You're the biggest guy in the company, and you want to avoid contact? Like, okay, bro, I get it. You want to show people you can move. Nobody wants to see it. You're not Rey Mysterio. It's not going to look very cool. No, but I mean, we did it, and then it didn't. And then he saw it back and was like, no, bro, like, didn't make sense. Like, they don't want to. I try to tell Cody, people want to see big guys do big things. Like, yeah, it's really cool that you can jump on the top rope and you can jump all around, but it doesn't look that good. You're going to probably get hurt, and you're 6'8", 260. Be a big badass. Brother. I'm taking Cody to England with me for Paige's family. The Knight family has a wrestling company there. I went with them before and helped them. They launched their TV pilot. We're going back in May to do it again. It's called WAW Wrestling. And Cody's going to be there. Pac's going to be there. Mr. Anderson is there. So he's going to be around some good guys. And, you know, it's going to be so fun. I'm so excited about it.
We definitely encourage the fans to go check that out, too.
Yeah.
Big rumors this weekend while we were talking about your son and, you know, about the whole Bullet Club in general. I mean, that's the big rumor now.
Well, when did they debut?
Well, so I haven't debuted.
I've heard Anderson. I saw a picture that Anderson was in the PC in Orlando. I saw Matt Bloom posted like a selfie, but his head's so big you can't hardly see anything else. But in the background, there's a guy with his back turned, and he was like, So I think I'm happy for Gallows. I'm happy for Anderson too. He can work. I've seen their stuff, and the whole Anderson thing's pretty good because he kind of is like Arn. He has that kind of mannerisms in the ring. Mm-hmm. And Gallows, I'm just happy for him. He's such a good guy. He did whatever you need. He was Uncle Fester before or something, right? Festus. Yeah. And he did that pretty cool. Mm-hmm. He's talented. I like him, you know. Plus, anybody who shows love to my kid, I got love for him. You know? He's a great talker. Cody told me, he said, Dad, a lot of times sponsors take him out. He said, Dad, he holds court. He's so funny. He said he just sits there and tells stories. He's just funny. I'm really happy now, too. Cody gets to hang out with, before AJ was over there. AJ took Finn Balor's spot. Well, he was Prince Devitt then. AJ took that spot. And AJ's great. But AJ's one of the guys doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. Like Young Bucks, don't drink, don't do drugs. I'm just happy that my son is around guys who are on top who do that, because they still go out and do stuff and have fun, but I came up in an era when all the top guys drank and did drugs. So to hang out with him, you kind of had to. And I'm happy now he gets to hang out with these guys and they don't.
Almost go play video games or something.
Right, so, cool. When I came up, it was Pong when I was like, well, you know, it was a different time. I'm happy that I lived to have survived it. A lot of my people in the same era didn't make it.
You brought up AJ Styles.
Man.
You know, he's had that big series with Chris Jericho right now. How have you been following it at all?
Yeah. I watch wrestling because my son's on the scene, so I pay attention. You know, I watch the NXT. I'll be at their show Friday. I think that it's benefiting Chris. Certainly benefiting Chris. And Chris is a talented heel. You know, when he first came up, when he was in WCW and I was there, he was being a heel, but he didn't want to be like cool heel because he felt like NWO was doing that. I'm gonna do something different. He was kind of like whiny, like prick heel, and he got over when he had the long hair and stuff. The Y2J stuff got over huge. That was huge. He had the coolest entrance in wrestling, and now he's smart enough to. The cool thing about Chris is he can step in, bang, and he's relevant. But I think he's certainly benefited by working with AJ, who can go. And AJ's snug though too. A little bit of that Japanese thing. He knocked Miz's teeth out with that spinning back fist. So I think it's going to be great. I wouldn't have done the back and forth. I'd have left them together, or I wouldn't have put them together. But I mean, I wouldn't have broke them up just to get a match at Mania. But they'll deliver. They'll go out there and go 15-18. It'll be sweet. It'll be a lot of 1, 2, you know. And so that's what they're called upon to do, and they can do it, man.
What would have been an alternative progression, you think, to get to this match in Mania instead of
with
the way
them?
they did it? Yeah.
Well, I would have just left them together and let them have a tag match here. Then that's 2 more other guys who can work, and they could have rocked it. AJ just got here. I would have left him single for a while, but I thought the whole Y2, by the time they came out with merch for that, then they'd already decided to break them up. I just think, like they tell guys, slow down in the ring, how about slow down in the office? Brother.
The audience almost can't keep up with that kind of storyline. Like,
I've known AJ since he like first started. I was on the first TNA pay-per-view when Jerry ran it and stuff. I was on that, and he was there, and he was great then. He was so young, and now he's been all around the world. He's been beat up, you know. But he's great. I would have pushed him singly, or I would, getting a rub from Jericho ain't bad. I would put him with them, but I personally would have left them together. They weren't even really over as a tandem, and then they broke back up again. I mean, they already were feuding, then they put them together, then they broke them up. Either let them feud or put them together, is my point.
How much of it do you think is just because due to like injuries on the roster?
And see, that's another thing too I'm happy about the era today is like guys can't work hurt. It's not up to you. It's like a third person going, no. Because you ask the wrestler, they're always going to work. Especially it's another wrestler asking them who's worked hurt. But now they take it out of the guy's hands. Yeah, it sucks, but guess what? Like I just saw Randy Orton in the green room. He looks great. And I expressed to him, don't be in a hurry back. Like, don't be in a hurry. This company ain't going nowhere. And you're already a major part of it. Anytime you decide to show up, it's going to be huge. So, you know, you can't rush certain injuries, you know, and why? He's a thoroughbred, you know, he's not a plow horse. I think that's great. I heard that actually, I heard a rumor somebody had pulled the plug on somebody because they were injured. And then somebody said to AAA, like, well, wow, but the boss worked when he blew his quad out. And Triple H's response, from what I heard, I haven't seen him yet, or I'll ask him, but was, yeah, and you know what, I wish somebody would have stopped it. Like sometimes nowadays, if you get hurt, they come out to the ring and they stop it. Because we came up in the era when it was this sports entertainment, but it's still like real. Like, no, you can't just go, oh, I'm hurt, because, well, the whole idea is to hurt the guy. You know, like, no, but I'm really hurt. Oh, well, he's really hurt, fans. You know, it was a different time. And a lot of times, see, I was here before Guaranteed Money. A lot of people credit me with Guaranteed Money from WWE, and they're right. But, you know, your money was affected by, like, if you're in a big town, then the agent will go, well, can't you just go out there? Let them see you. You know, the other guys will work around you. But now you go out there, then you start feeling the crowd, then you start feeling no pain. And a lot of times there was guys going, here, take this. And, you know, it only works against you because, oh, man, I'm in Cleveland, man. I want to rock it, you know, like, I'm in Richfield or, you know, I don't know. It's just, yeah, a lot of guys are hurt. So what? They'll get well, they'll come back. I mean, there's a lot of young guys that they could be featuring. I've been down to NXT twice. I love it there. I love being around the young guys the most. And they got some dudes now, like Triple H said again, he's like, man, they say, what the hell, you're just raiding the indies, getting the top indie guys. And he's, yeah, because I want my company to prosper while I build young talent. They got some guys down there. I saw this one dude, they call him Constantine. Big, like, Russian dude from somewhere Eastern Europe. Oh, man, what a look. And I was there when he had his very first match. They do things now at the Performance Center that the guys who aren't good enough to make towns yet or go out they wrestle in the Performance Center just for the staff and the other boys. And it's a tough crowd being in front of a bunch of the other wrestlers because they all know each other. They all work out together. So it's wide open. It's so fun. And this dude, and I'm one of them guys, I want to catch you as soon as you come through the curtain. Like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? And the cool thing about being like an old timer is most of these guys grew up watching me, so they're like, okay. And I said, bro, like, just slow down this. Oh, that was really good, do that. And he went, oh, it's my first time ever. I went, great. That if this is where you're starting from, oh, good. I'll see you in a couple months. You're going to be like, oh, they got some really talented guys there. The business is going to be fine. Guys get hurt, that sucks. I don't encourage guys to work hurt. It's not smart, you know. All that concussion stuff that they're talking about in the NFL, hey, we don't wear helmets. You know, I got a little Dane damage going on from all that.
You talk about your time at NXT. One of the big, feature matches this weekend is Nakamura and Sami Zayn. What do you think about those two guys, and any predictions how,
Well, okay. And see, again, Nakamura, I can't wait to meet him, but Cody has interacted with Nakamura in matches, and Nakamura is one of them cats who sells. He's like sells, man. Like, and then he's cool and he comes. I love him. I can't wait to meet him. I predict, Zayn puts him over because then Zayn's going to be featured. He's already moved up. Like, put him over. Boom, you're moved on. And I think it'll be great. Sami can go, man. You know, he can go, and Nakamura can go. It's going to be great. The NXT is the hottest show in town. Everybody knows that.
Do you think that style meshed well, that Japanese style?
Yes, because the NXT crowd's like a bunch of hip, young fans. They're the people who boo Reigns. The people who will cheer Nakamura and Sami Zayn Friday night will be booing like what they perceive programmed house-chosen babyfaces. They'll be booing them. But got news for you, his merch sells like right under Cena's, so boo all you want, as long as you're paying attention, brother.
The Hulk Hogan Gawker thing that just happened. Gawker just came out yesterday saying that they're trying to appeal the case. Have you been following this?
Yeah, I have. I was reaching out to Hulk during it, and I told him, bro, hey, the whole world is pulling for you. It's time for you to nobody makes a better comeback than Hulk. And I was talking to him right before the whole decision came down, and he's like, bro, and he came back and he said, man, he goes, the refs checked the arm for the third time. He said, I'm moving the finger back and forth. And then in parentheses, he put, thanks, Dusty, because that was Dream stuff first. And he said, I'm about to start shaking. And I said, bro, everybody's waiting for a big comeback. Nobody does it better. And the cool thing about the appeal, good for them. Guess what, Gawker? The dude from Gawker comes across like such a dick. And he's going, well, we always base it on, is it true and is it interesting? And this was both. Yeah, but whatever. And what's sweet about in the court system in Florida is if you want to appeal, you have to post $50 million bond. So put up or shut up. And I heard the guy went on record saying we're only worth $83 million anyway. Well, that's okay. We'll take that and you just make payments in the future. You know what? And Hulk realizes too, and I saw him do an interview. Now he's way more relaxed. He's like, hey, listen, and I made the racial slurs, man. I made a lot of mistakes. I want people to remember that. And Hulk, I'm sorry, bro, if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I care about you. You got to remember, this was nearly 10 years ago. He was going through that horrifying divorce. His son Nick had been in a horrible car accident with his buddy, and Terry stepped up for all that. Hulk paid for that. He didn't back away from any of that. And then his daughter's in getting in the hip hop business. He's paying out for that. And then I think he realizes, like, wow, what I read, I didn't hear it. I saw the transcripts. He was examining, like, wow, am I a racist? Like, almost asking himself. And I think that, hey, everybody makes mistakes. I've been around Hulk. I've never seen him racist at all. I just think he was, like, cracked. But anyway, it's all over now. It's all over now. He's big babyface. He's the biggest babyface in the country. Can anybody make a mistake? There was one perfect guy, the way I look at it, and that was Jesus. They crucified him. So, and everybody else falls short of that standard. I'm happy you're back, Hulk. Congratulations on the big win. Dropped the leg drop on Gawker.
We did an interview with Raven a few years ago, and they took this out. He was bringing a point when he was producing the WWF around the time, I think you got in around 92 or so.
Yeah.
I guess he was doing some sort of writing or producing.
Yeah, he was.
He was saying...
he bullshit his way into that job.
That's what he said, dude, just was not qualified.
Yeah, just act like you know what you're doing, whatever.
He was saying that WWF at the time had a long habit of bringing in some of the top territory guys, burying them, abusing them, just so that other territories couldn't use them. And he cited examples of like Baron Von Raschke, Rip Oliver, Bastion Booger, guys like that. Do you agree with that? Did you see a lot of that when you were there?
I certainly wouldn't have put a guy who's a hell of a talent like Wild Bill Irwin in a hockey outfit with hockey ski boots. Yeah, ridiculous. The guy was a hell of a talent. I mean, awesome talent. But they ruined. They took a lot of guys who were really talented territory guys and just abused them, you know. Rip Oliver, they did a number on him. Baron von Raschke was, you know, a legend, you know, as this, and they brought him in, took away his German accent, made him look like the Emperor in Star Wars. He was a major heel in Canada. I mean, he was a big star. But they brought him in and made him like, you know, this filthy, you know, looking animal. You know, Terry Taylor was a big star, you know what I mean? UWF, you know. It was, and they made him into the Red Rooster, and his first run was with the Brooklyn Brawler that he did the job for, I think. So, you know, that's not going anywhere.
How good were those guys getting over on their own? I mean, how over was Booger getting? I mean, come on. I mean, you can. They point. What I liked about working for Vince is they point the cameras at you. They point the cameras at everybody, and you either get it's display your ability or lack of ability, but do it in 3, 2, like go. You know what I mean? We're not in control of the outcome, but you're in control of everything else. You know, I worked with Booger. I thought he was brutal, but he had a reputation of being top heel in Calgary and all that. Okay, I didn't see it. I didn't see any of that. I worked with him in WCW before that. He was Norman the Lunatic. And he got over a little bit kind of as a goofy, like, gimmick thing. There's a place for him on the card. I don't think it's like on top angle, so I don't see what they're... I disagree with you, Raven, respectfully. He likes to argue anyway. Right. He would argue the point. I've hang out with him. I like him.
Bruce Pritchard brought this up in an interview he did. This is another fan question about how Vince wanted to make the tugboat, Chic Tugboat, and Russell Hogan at Mania 7 in the main event.
My first Mania was 9, so I wasn't even paying attention to any of that.
The question is, like, do you remember any angles that, or anything that was like discussed?
And 7, was that Hogan Warrior?
It was Hogan and Slaughter at 7. But do you remember anything during your time where it was kind of being discussed? You're like, what the hell what are you guys thinking? Like, this isn't going to go anywhere.
I came along in an era when things were pretty good creatively because, like, I had a good heel run as Razor, but then in certain markets, fans like a cool heel. So then they start to come with me, and Vince noticed this. He knows what goes on in all the towns because the agents tell him. And he called me and he said, listen, you know, the people are turning you, so I'm going to turn you babyface. But I don't want to do the same old thing where you run in and save somebody. And he goes, you got this guy who was 120 pounds, soaking wet. And I went, Lightning Kid? Because I'd seen Kid in Detroit, in Dallas, here in Dallas. And he goes, yeah, you know him? I said, no, but I love him. He looked like he was 11. And what Kid did one time was, they had a 20 count on the outside in Dallas. So he rolls out to the floor and the guy starts counting and he went, oh, and he just laid down on the announce table and made the guy count 17, 18. Then he rolled in like, what, man? And I went, what a little prick. I thought it was so funny that I couldn't wait to work with him. But he goes, okay, this guy's gonna beat you. And then he goes, 6 weeks from then, during the sweeps, Nelson ratings, you have a rematch for 10,000, but then he steals the money. And he goes, then what I'm gonna do is, whenever every heel who does an interview, then they'll say, oh, and speaking of losers, Razor Ramon, what a loser. And he goes, Kid beat him, then stole his money. You know, like the other heels are gonna heel on me. And it worked. And he goes, then you'll work with DiBiase at SummerSlam, beat him with your face. So he laid that out to me a year in advance. So that's the way they were doing stuff then. You know, but it was a different era. Like now things are hot-shotted kind of because there's a pay-per-view every month. There was only 4 back then. You know, so the times were different. I'm not one of them guys saying, man, back in the day. No, I'm trying to be current with what's going on now. You either adapt or you get left behind. You know, I never had a problem with the creative ideas. I actually did speak up one time on the Goldust angle because everything was so G-rated then. And we're going with the kind of homosexual angle, like he was in love with me was the story. And I remember thinking like, whoa, like, okay, I don't get it, you know. But and it turned out to be really shocking and great. But it was like, I didn't understand where we were going. That was the only time I kind of was not sure about what we were doing. But I've never heard, I guess if you're getting booked in something sweet, you're happy with the booking. You know, if you're not in a cool angle or something and you're on third or something, yeah, then you're going, man, they need to change it.
In that match you had where Kid took the money.
Right.
There was that spot that happened a few minutes before that he actually spoke about.
Where he face planted on the concrete.
Yeah,
you know, I always felt so bad about that because when we did it, you know, I had moved the spot started with me moving the mat, and I was going to razor's edge him on the concrete, and he backdropped me, boom, I'm down. The spot, now he's going to run to the top and come from the top to the floor. Now, I've only worked with him that one other time when it was basically a squash. But I'm thinking, man, I bet this kid is so excited. I bet he's up there, like, wait, I bet he's up there now. So I turned a little faster than I should have. If I could go back in time, I'd have milked that and turned around like Terry Funk and done it real slow, and then boom. But I got up thinking he's up there waiting, like, But he wasn't. He was timing it perfect, and he waited, and then when he saw me, he went and he slipped and went bam. And I'll tell you what happened. He hit, boom. I mean, it was obvious to everybody. And we're already got the go home cue. I mean, Baby Earl's is in the ring, and he's already told, we're going home. And I go like this, and I look right at Vince, and he looks down. But now, watching it back, I heard Vince, and he didn't not look at me. He continued commentating, but he looked down, because I'm thinking like, give me the office, like what? And I'm picking him up, and he's like on Queer Street and liking it. But I go to throw him in, and I look at Baby Earl, and he goes, F it, pin him. And I'm thinking, man, we can't do, now I'm thinking, oh my God, we can't do that. This whole thing is like, no, we can't beat him, then it's like over. And I was about to have him just small package. I mean, schoolboy. Not a small package, large package. And he went, and he looked at me and he went, moonsault. And he was like, eyes were going like this, and I went, just like last time, move, moonsault. I shoot him in, I charge, he moves. Now, if you'll see the first match when he does it, he kind of comes off kind of sideways. This time, he didn't even look back. He was up there like, whoa, like how much more can he get hurt? He just dove off. It was perfect, you know. Then 1-2, I kick out. You can see, if you watch it back, you'll see me and Baby Earl looking at him going, get the money! Because he like got up like, huh, then he got the money. And now I'm supposed to chase him out in the snow with the money. And, you know, his car's gonna pick him up. And so I get out of the ring, I'm coming behind him, and he's like walking. And I'm going, man, this is burying me. I said, I'm just gonna blast him right through the curtain. You know, and as I was drawn back, and I was gonna hit him and hit him. And all of a sudden he went, like just felt it, and took off.
Did you say at one time that your first chair shot ever was from Bruiser Brody in Kansas City? Is that true?
I remember working with Brody and in a handicap match, me and Mr. Pogo against Brody. And I'm young and jacked back then. He saw me and went, bro, I could have a good single with you. I do remember being in the ring with Brody, me and him in there together. And he goes, get on me, kid. And I'm hitting him. I'm so excited. I'm hitting Bruiser Brody, right? Like, I've been in business 6 months, man. It was a big crowd in Kansas City. He was over, you know. I'm hitting him. Then he goes, okay, backdrop me. And I'm going, whoa, I'm going to backdrop Bruiser Brody. Oh, my God. I shoot him and I go for the backdrop. If you've ever seen Brody work, he just punted me. But that was the whole thing. Instead of saying, okay, shoot me in, I'll kick it, he knew I'd be going, what? He just went backdrop. And he just punted me. But it was great. Yeah, I don't remember taking a chair shot from him, but I might have, because I think if he had a chair, like, he's going to swing it. So I think he did hit me with it, and then later on he went, hey kid, no, next time put your hands up. Because it does look more real. I didn't like that ECW era when all those guys would do that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hardcore, hit me. No, I put my hands up anyway, because I'm pretty. But I mean, I put my hands up because I don't want to, it looks more real to me. You wouldn't stand there like, Hey yo, say hello to the bad guy. Come and check me out at the South Texas Comic-Con, and I'm bringing a few buddies with me. Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff's gonna be there, X-Pac is gonna be there, and I think you should be there. Dare ya.